Hello, grade 7. I am teacher Anna and welcome to the world of cookery. Before we proceed to our discussion, let's have a short recap about the kitchen tools and equipment discussed when you was in grade 6. Today, you will make a graphic organizer. Look around in your kitchen and list down the things available that you can use while cooking or preparing food. Write your answers inside the petal shapes. Let us proceed to another activity. The name of the activity is the kitchen. Let's see if you already know the kitchen tools, equipment, and paraphernalia. Write down the names of each tool, equipment, and paraphernalia. The choices are given. These are the choices: measuring spoon, measuring cup, buster, kitchen shears, dredge, whisk, colander, scraper, oven, blender, chopping board, grater, peeler, garlic presser, and tongs. These are the pictures given. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, and number 8. Number 9, number 10, number 11, number 12, number 13, number 14, and number 15. Let us check your answers. Number 1, buster. Number 2, kitchen shears. Number 3, dredge. Number 4, whisk. Number 5, grater. Number 6, colander. Number 7, scraper. Number 8, blender. Number 9, oven. Number 10, tongs. Number 11, garlic presser. Number 12, measuring cup for dry ingredients. 13, chopping board. Number 14, peeler. And number 15, measuring spoon. Congratulations! We will now proceed to pretest. Identify the word or words that best describe in each statement. Write your answer in a separate sheet of paper. You will have 10 minutes to finish the pretest. Your timer starts now. Let us check your answer. Number 1. A kitchen tool that is specifically designed for pulping garlic for cooking. Garlic presser. Number 2. It is used to grate, shred, slice, and separate foods. Grater. Number 3. It is used to measure small portion of ingredients. Portion scale. Number 4. It is mainly used to hold ingredients and foods to avoid food contamination. Holding tools. Number 5. These are used to measure smaller quantities of ingredients. Measuring spoons. 6. These tools are used to cut, dice, and slice fruits, vegetables, and other food that are needed to be divided into portions. Cutting tools. 7. A rubber or silicone that is used to blend or scrape food from the bowl. rubber scraper. Number 8. These are tools used to get the accurate measurement as required in the recipe. Measuring tools. Number 9. It is used to shake flour, salt, and pepper on meat, poultry, and fish. Dredge. And number 10, it is used to peel off fruits and vegetables. Paring knife. Congratulations! Our lesson for today is utilize appropriate kitchen tools, equipment, and paraphernalia. So for this week, we'll be discussing about the different classifications of tools, equipment, and paraphernalia. Our objectives for this week, at the end of the lesson, students should be able to learning outcome number 1, utilize kitchen tools, equipment, and paraphernalia. 1.1, identify types of tools, equipment, and paraphernalia. 1.2, classify the types of appropriate tools and equipment based on their uses. We will be encountering these objectives during the discussion. Let us now proceed to the brief introduction of the lesson. Classification of the types of tools, equipment, and paraphernalia. From the previous lesson, I hope you are already familiar with the kitchen tools, equipment, and paraphernalia. Can be made from different types of material, and it differs as to its durability and how items can be applicable for you to use while cooking. That is why cook, a chef, or the one who prepare meals should be familiar with the correct usage of every tool, equipment, and paraphernalia. Kitchen tools, equipment, and paraphernalia differ in each use and function. However, there are techniques also that can be applied while cooking delicious meals for our family. Before we proceed to our discussion, let's unlock the difficulties that we may encounter during the discussion. First, al dente means past the cook until just firm, from the Italian to the tooth. Beat to stir rapidly to make a mixture smooth using a whisk, spoon, or mixer. Blanch to cook briefly in boiling water to seal in flavor and color, usually used for vegetables or fruit, to prepare for freezing and to ease skin removal. Blend to thoroughly combine two or more ingredients, either by hand with a whisk or spoon with a mixer. Boil to cook in a bubbling water that has reached 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Dice to cut food into very small 1/8 to 1/4 inch cubes. Dredge to cover or coat uncooked food, usually with a flour, cornmeal mixture, or breadcrumbs. Dress to coat foods such as salad with a sauce, also to clean fish, poultry, or game for cooking. Grill to cook food on a rack under or over direct heat as on a barbecue or in a broiler. Grind to reduce food to tiny particles using a grinder or a food processor. Okay, next, marinate. To soak in a flavored liquid usually refers to meat, poultry, or fish. Means to cut into tiny pieces, usually with a knife. Saute or pan fry. To cook food in a small amount of fat over relatively high heat. And lastly, shred. To cut food into narrow strips with a knife or a grater. Now let's classify some specific tools according to its usage as holding tools, cutting tools, and measuring tools that we can use to the next activity we're going to have. What is holding tools? It is mainly used to hold ingredients and foods to avoid food contamination. These are the examples of holding tools. Number 1, carving fork. A two-pronged fork used to hold meat steady while it is being carved. Number 2, dredger. A container with small perforated holes that is used to hold flour, herbs, or other similar ingredients that are sprinkled on foods that are being prepared. Number 3, flipper. The word commonly refers to a turner used to lift and flip food items during cooking, such as pancakes and fillets. Number 4, funnel. A kitchen utensil that is used to pour liquids in a small grain ingredients from one source into another. Next, garlic presser. A tool used for pressing garlic cloves through small holes to extract the pulp, oils, and juice from the garlic. A colander is a kitchen utensil used to strain foods such as pasta or to rinse vegetables. Next, handy poultry and roasting tools. It is used for easier lifting of a hot roasted turkey from the roaster to the serving platter without falling apart. How do you use seafood tools? Seafood tools, the handles on the utensil, feature grips on the inside and they are connected by a hinge. To crack the shell and access the crab meat within, you put the grips around the shell and squeeze the handles together. Number 9. Serving spoon is a larger spoon or ladle used to serve out individual portions of food. 10. A wooden spoon is a spoon that is used for stirring sauces and for mixing ingredients in cooking. It is made of wood and has a long handle. Next, tongs are a type of food used to grip and lift objects instead of holding them directly with hands. Lastly, a ladle is a type of cooking implement used for soup, stew, or other foods. Okay, next, cutting tools. What is cutting tools? Are those tools that are used to cut, dice, and slice fruits, vegetables, and other foods that are needed to be divided into portions. These are an examples of cutting tools. Peeler. A peeler is a kitchen utensil designed to peel away the outer skin of vegetables. Number 2, knife. Knife, tool or implement for cutting. the blade being either fixed to the handle or fastened with a hinge so as to collapse into it. Knives form the largest class of cutting implements known collectively as cutlery. Number 3, kitchen shears. The main use for kitchen shears are the most obvious ones: snipping herbs, cutting open food, packaging, and breaking down poultry. There are different examples of knife. So these are the kitchen knives. Number 1, butcher knives. This is normally used to section raw meat, poultry, and fish. Number 2, French knife, used to chop, dice, or mince food. Number 3, roast beef slicer, used to slice roast meat, ham, and thick solid cuts types of meats. Number 4, boning knife. This is used to debone raw meat and fish. Number 5, fruit and salad knife. Use it when you are preparing salad, whether it is a vegetable or fruits. Next, spatula. Used in leveling of ingredients when measuring ingredients. Citrus knife. Used to section citrus fruits such as oranges and lemons. Lastly, a paring knife, used to peel off fruits and vegetable. And paring knife is considered the smallest type of knife. Next, measuring tools are those we use to get the accurate measurement as required in the recipe that we follow to make such meals. These are examples of measuring tools. Number 1, measuring cup for dry ingredients. This measuring cup is used for measuring dry ingredients. There are different sizes of measuring cup: 1/8, 1/4, 1/3, 1/2, and 1 cup. Number 2, measuring cup for liquid ingredients, or also known as quart. It is used to measure liquid ingredients. Number 3, portion scales. A portion scales is used to measure portions of ingredients. And number 4, scoop or dippers. It is used to measure an ingredient like ice cream. Measuring spoon is used to measure small quantities of ingredients, either liquid or dry ingredients. Household scales. It is used to measure large quantities of ingredients. Okay, let us now proceed to our activities. Activity number 1. Identify at least 5 kitchen tools and paraphernalia in your kitchen and put a check mark in the column where does it belong. Example is given to you. Okay? Picture of kitchen tools and equipment. Kitchen tongs. Okay, under holding tool. Okay, so you have to give 5 kitchen tools or equipment available at your kitchen. And you have to take a picture of it and then classify whether it is holding tool, cutting tool, or measuring tool. So you have to put a check mark in the column where does this tool or equipment belong. Okay, let's proceed to our next activity. 1.3 Word search. Identify the word being as in each number. So this is 1 to 10. Okay, you have to identify the word being as in each number. Then you have to write the answer in the space provided before each number. Encircle the words that correspond to your answer inside the box. Words may appear straight across and upward and downward. Example number 1 is given to you. This is a type of measuring tool that is used to hold dry ingredients for measuring. Answer is measuring cup. Remember, cutting tools are applicable for cutting, slicing, mincing, and peeling off the fruits and vegetables. Holding tools are used to prevent toxification of the food. Measuring tools, tools that are preferred to be used to make sure that the required ingredients are used. What are the examples of cutting tools? Example of cutting tools are vegetable peeler, kitchen knives, kitchen shears. There are different knives: butcher knives, French knife, roast beef slicer, boning knife, fruit and salad knife, spatula, citrus knife, paring knife. Kitchen shear is also an example of cutting tools. Next, holding tools. These are two-tine fork, dredger, flipper, funnel, garlic press, colander, handy poultry and roasting tool, seafood serving tool, serving spoons, wooden spoon, serving tongs, and soup ladle. Lastly, measuring tools. These are the examples: measuring cup for dry ingredients, measuring cup for liquid ingredient, portion scales, scoops or dippers, measuring spoons, and household scales. Before we end our discussion, let me ask to you about this one. 3, 2, 1. Give three things learned from this lesson. Two interesting facts and one question in this lesson. That's all for today. Thank you. Again, I am your teacher, Teacher Anna.